So you move into, so you spent 10 years in banking. Where did the cannabis, have you always been a cannabis guy? Were you a consumer later in life? I'm guessing you were a consumer when you were a young kid. I don't know, maybe not, but were you a consumer? Did you have a goal to get in cannabis? How did it happen? Walk me through it.
Great stories. I was not a cannabis guy growing up. As a pro athlete and destined for the Marine Corps and rural East Texas, no, man, no drinking, no smoking, no nothing, very focused.
Okay.
Even if I wanted to, the money wasn't there for it. And I didn't have the connections.
Okay.
But after the Marine Corps, when I was hanging around some pro BMX racers, there were some different events that happened in the Marines, and you keep them to yourself, but you're struggling with some mental challenges. And it translated to me to insomnia.
Okay.
And it was a fellow professional BMX racer that turned me on to cannabis. At a national of all places. And I'm out in the parking lot just riding a bike around at 11 o'clock because I can't sleep. And he's over there with this big cloud around him. And I just shake my head and I'm like, what are you doing with your life? And went down my and he was a very intelligent person, and he was he was able to articulate very well why he was doing what he was doing. And it wasn't recreational, it was medicinal. He had some challenges as well. And subsequently I gave it a try, and oh my gosh, I can sleep.
Yep. Then now, you're hooked.
Now I'm hooked. I'm a weed guy. So that's 25 years old. And then of course in Hawaii, it's not hard to find phenomenal cannabis. I've had cannabis every day of my life since I'm 25 years old.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you're in banking, when the cannabis industry started taking off, were you thinking, man, I'd like to get into that? Was that a goal?
Before then, I've smoked cannabis for quite a long time. I've grown illegally in every state that I've lived in. I never took one to fruition because you're always waiting on the cops to beat down your door. One stupid little plant that just looks horrible, and you're like, Texas, that's real, man. You're going to jail for a minute. So I always knew that it was inevitable because I was in the space. I was part of the culture. My peers were growers. I sought out almost immediately in cannabis. I realized that there was a great disparity in quality. And if you could find someone with a home grow, you were going to get a very natural, organic product, hopefully, versus, maybe what was coming across borders, that real brick style, dirty headache weed, they called it. So I had no appeal to cannabis if it was a poor product. I only wanted it if it was a high-end product.
Okay.
So at 26 years old, I'm chasing that and forging relationships that get me access to that. Hey, Steve's a grower. He doesn't have enough to share, but he's got enough to get you set up. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yep.
So even, in banking, I'm the guy in a suit with the that side. My initials are KB, and the people that knew me said that stands for kind bud, because they knew I was the guy that always had the good stuff.
I can almost visualize you and a couple of the VPs are like, hey man, let's go to lunch. And you come back from lunch, you try to have a meeting in the conference room.
No comment, man. No comment.